Thump, thump, thump. This is the American Army. Open up. I wonder who that is, I thought out loud. This is Charles Pettigrew, the messenger of the American Patriots. Okay, then you may come in. The door's unlocked, I answered. I wonder why the American Army is in Paris, and especially my house while I'm playing cards. The first impression I had on him was hilarious. He placed a slanted trifold hat that was 2 sizes big on him. He wore a tight shirt for 2-year-olds, showing half of his pot belly. His face was squeezed on the inside like a black hole was sucking it halfway in, making his face look distorted. He was as tiny as a 5-year-old, but as funny as he looked. He held a gun in his chubby palms and had a grim expression on his face. So, what is the problem? I asked, trying not to snicker. Have you ever heard of the Revolutionary War? Well, we are asking you to join us and help us defeat the British, he explained. Ah, the British. I have had some experience against their army. It was not a good war, I commented. Before I answered, I needed time to think about my loyalty to France and the good things about coming there. He looked more restless. Okay, I'm just here sent from Benjamin Franklin. So do you want to fight them or not? He demanded. Fine. We'll fight for you. Just let me collect my army, I said. I ran to every house until I got every soldier in the army, but I forgot the most important thing, my family. I ran to Charles and made him promise safety for my family that I would never forgive him for. I should remember one thing during combat. My priorities are: number 1, to stay alive. Number 2, to help America win and defeat the British. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The gigantic boat swayed back and forth. I could barely manage to remember everything that happened the night before. First, I gathered up the troops, farewelled with my family, and falling asleep. I traveled above deck to find out everything on my mind. So, it seemed, in the afternoon. But how long would it take to get there? I decided to question the American captain. Mr. Captain, how long until we port at Boston? He decided to answer, well, we are estimated the arrival in at least 2 months. The news was so terrible that I almost fainted. I hated sailing, and we were stuck on this lousy ship for 2 months? This is crazy, I bellowed. It is so unfair, I whined. What am I going to do for 2 months? Well, you need to pass your time, he suggested. But how? I don't have my family, friends, or even my deck of cards. I just decided to sleep for my quote-unquote 2 months. So we walked downstairs to my bed when someone overtook me and was about to kick me, but then I reflected it. I didn't have any time to call for help when he faked hit me in the stomach, then aimed a blow in my head with his elbow. My last word until I blacked out was, ugh. I woke up with a splitting headache, lying in my bed with a jug of steaming tea and a cup of salted chicken soup. As I tried to sit up, a soldier named Jean Botswally shuffled in and inspected me. I feel bad for you, Chauncey. A huge knock to the head, about 5 centimeters swollen. He pointed to my temple, and I reached for it. He hesitated, then said, no, don't touch it. Straight orders from the doctor. So, who is that darn betrayer who hit me? I will rip him to shreds when I lay my eyes on him, I answered. Don't worry, he nonchalantly said. We know how you feel about that kind of stuff, so we took care of him for you. First we locked him up in chains, then knocked him in the head the same way he did to you, and last we threw him overboard. I wonder who he is anyway, I said. Well, he was just some top-class British soldier, he replied. Okay, even better, I managed. I felt so weak that I forced Botswally to pour tea in my mouth and to feed me soup. I was very tired, for I forced it out of me. How long have I been out? I wondered. It took a blow to your head pretty hard. It could have killed someone, but for 1 month and a half. I took such a deep breath, all the air in the room got taken away. My eyes lit up, and I grinned from ear to ear. Yes, I thought in my mind, but seconds later I cringed with pain. The rest of the days had passed by quickly. Except for one nightmare, everything had been amazing. In my disturbing, terrifying, and vivid dream, Pettigrew was battling hundreds of redcoat soldiers with barely any French townspeople. We were easily outnumbered, with everyone fleeing, hoping to stay alive. The worst of it was my family. My wife staggered away from the British with many wounds in her chest. My little son lay unmoving, and it was scary that I even woke up immediately, laying in my bed for some minutes, cold, beady sweat dripping from my face. I decided to put some clothes on and walk to the deck. I squinted in the distance, and as it was 5 a.m., there were lots of fog, but I could see a huge shape that I knew was America. Now I know why everyone was obsessed in this. It was marvelous. By the time I finished admiring the land, we reached Boston dock and unloaded everyone and everything. I walked to the house and sat on my bed. I unloaded my cart my son gave me, my blanket my wife stitched me, and my clothes. I tried to get comfy, but I couldn't shake the feelings of the terrifying nightmare off my family. But this was the closest to comfortable that I could get since leaving France. I sat on warm, silky blankets with my head rested on a leather pillow. I had a meeting with all the leaders, and we discussed plans of attack. So when we hid in the forest, we expected British soldiers to come out of the ships. This does not seem much of a threat, I thought. Our army can outnumber these soldiers easily. But I jinxed it. Soldiers came pouring out of the ships as if it was magical for space. Then, as fast as they disappeared, they had surrounded us. What? I thought out of my mind. What? I thought in my mind. Who would ever tell the English our plans? They must be traitors. And if on cue, I heard a cold, taunting voice. Come out, wherever you are, someone growled in the distance. And I heard someone say, Benedict Arnold, you are paid for this. And then, as if on cue, the war started. I silently stalked in the back of the war, sniping down enemies from the trustworthy and good-luck gun my father had passed down to me. The Patriots would attack in the front line with swords and hits. If any British passed, Patriots and French together would shoot them down. As I ran out of bullets, I crouched beneath a bush and stalked on my rifle. A haunting voice crept up my spine. We haven't touched your precious America, but we destroyed your life. France! I was so worried about the voice in the nightmare, I decided I would make it seem like a coincidence. I shook all my bad thoughts, slapped myself around a couple of times, poured water on my face, ran into the field, abandoning the plan, and boom! For France! I summed up all my courage, put it in my arms and legs. All my training took over with shooting, stabbing, striking, shielding, and being amazing. Soon the redcoats had been dead, unconscious, or retreated. Cornwallis had surrendered her gun to General Rochambeau, and our side had won the war. I felt as if the burden of the sky had been lifted off my shoulders, but as fast as they came off, they came on again. Benjamin Franklin appeared out of nowhere to answer the terrible news that would linger in my head forever. No, I started weeping like an elephant. The fear I had this whole time had come true, yet I didn't do anything to stop it from happening. My family and the rest of Paris had been massacred by the British.